Waffle and syrup. Take the opportunity to try out this divine creation and pair it with a coffee from the mill as we celebrate Heavenly Waffles Wednesday from 8 to 11 a.m. at the 93.7 The Ticket Studio.
Stop by the 93.7 The Ticket Studios at 1040 O Street this Wednesday, December 13th, to try some Heavenly Waffles. Parking available on 11th Street and in nearby garages.
The captain, Vershawn Jackson.
What if that happened to Nebraska? What do you think would be going on right now? If somehow, some way, miraculously, Matt Rule and company went undefeated, and because we lost our starting quarterback, you forgot about the entire 100 and how many ever guys, as if it only took the quarterback to get Florida State undefeated. NCAA, make it make sense. Committee, make it make sense. There's no rhyme or reason to your selection.
This is where it happens. Long hikes with friends, kayaking adventures with family, more horseback riding, zipline gliding, rock face climbing, hammock camping fun than you could ever imagine. And it's all outdoors, amongst the trees and across the prairie, here beneath Nebraska skies. Plan an outing today at yournebraskaadventure.com. Sponsored by Nebraska Game and Parks, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
This is the Happy Hour.
You guys going to happy hour?
Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America.
Yeah, I'll come for a couple.
Here are your hosts, Nick Sainert.
I want to know what it's like to commit a crime without having to spend time in jail.
And Enrique Alvarez Clary.
C is for chunk.
Brought to you by Empire Fence and Netting on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome in. Happy Monday. This is the Happy Hour, 93.7 The Ticket, theticketfm.com. Nick Sainert and Enrique Alvarez Clary with you. What's up, Rico?
Hello.
Oh, how's the weekend?
It was great, busy.
It was
fun,
busy.
Fantastic.
That's good. I'm glad. Rico had a busy couple of days with volleyball. It's going to continue this week as he gets ready for his voyage to Tampa. So, have you ever been to Tampa?
I have not. I've been to Florida one time.
Okay.
We went to.
Did you drive?
Yes.
I had a feeling you were one of those people that drove.
Well, it was with Rachel's family before we were even engaged. They invited me along. So
that's a heck of a journey.
It was. It was
great.
great.
With a family, with your in-laws that weren't even your in-laws at the time.
Well, it was the whole family.
Oh my goodness.
So it was
Take
great.
a big
so
bus?
No, everybody was in separate cars. We had like a little train.
Little caravan.
Four cars.
I enjoy caravanning.
It was fun.
Underrated part of family trips if it's driving. Always got to meet up somewhere and start a caravan.
Everybody should be in a caravan at least once.
I agree. Because then it's like, do you want the responsibility of being the lead car?
I was the lead car one. They had me drive one time, and I was like, I don't want to do this. They're like, you'll be fine. And so I drove. Not a fan of that.
Lead car?
Yeah.
Wow. Dang. Anyway, 402-464-5685, the Honda of Lincoln hotline, and the Starter Heyman text line are open for you guys the entire show today, as well as the Starter Heyman Jewelers live video stream, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, and Allo Channel 951, also at your disposal. Got a good show lined up today. A lot of transfer portal stuff here in the first segment, then recap of the volleyball week that was the last couple of days. I watched all 4 matches on Saturday between it was Louisville, Pitt, Nebraska, Arkansas, Wisconsin, Oregon, and then the nightcap was Stanford and Texas.
Mm-hmm.
And
that
so
didn't start until super late.
It did not start till super late. Texas won in 4 sets though on the road over number 1 seed Stanford. So those are your final 4 teams. Obviously, Wisconsin will play Texas on Thursday. Nebraska will play Pittsburgh on Thursday as well for a spot in Sunday's championship match. But we'll dive into that in the second segment, and then obviously bring in Austin for the crossover to close things out. But before we start talking about transfer portal stuff, huge shout out Delco Daves for providing our staff with lunch, as he does every Monday. If you're looking for a good Philly cheesesteak, if you're looking for some delicious birch beer as well, root beer, that is birch beer. Shout out to the cool looking can. It's an East Coast thing.
Not actual beer.
Not actual beer. make your way over to the alley behind Starter Heyman Jewelers on 11th and O. It's like 1140 O Street, just a block east of where we're at.
Mm-hmm.
And hey, go check out Delco Dave's for that. Gets his bread from Philly. So I mean, it's the real stuff.
It's so good. And when you go in there, wish him well. He's on a 2-game losing streak for his Birds.
Yeah,
very
big Philly
sad.
fan.
Very sad. So wish him well in there. I mean, I think it's hilarious, but some people are having good seasons that are turning bad. Some people are just having bad seasons, and they've completely checked out of football.
Yeah. So once again, their hours are Tuesday from 11 to 3 and then 4 to 7 p.m. Those are the hours from on Tuesday through Friday, and then Saturday 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. And so plenty of opportunities to get your fill on with some Philly cheesesteaks from Delco Dave's. Once again, 464-5685, the phone number to call and text. Let's dive into this, right? Because the quarterback situation is the biggest one for Nebraska currently.
Mm-hmm.
Kyle McCord, and from good friends at Rivals, Greg Smith was on a plane with Kyle McCord heading from Chicago to Lincoln. So
I thought it was Omaha.
Or Omaha,
yeah,
Chicago to Omaha. So Kyle McCord is on his way for what we would presume to be a visit for the Nebraska corner. So this is big, right? People forget, like, here's the thing. I was on my soapbox last week, kind of when the Kyle McCord news dropped. I was kind of on a soapbox of like, stop comparing him to the CJ Strouds and Justin Fields of Ohio State. Understand the personnel that he was playing with. It was not of the Ohio States of years past. Realize that also he took them down and beat Notre Dame on the road at Notre Dame in prime time with 1:20 remaining in the fourth quarter. Like, there was a lot of good from Kyle McCord's season in 2023. Excuse me. That just because Ohio State, yes, lost to Michigan and just missed out on the college football playoff, doesn't mean that this is a bad quarterback, right? I think it's important to realize context, right? I think there's a lot of exciting pieces that Nebraska is in play for, both maybe names that people know and names that maybe have not been reported by the media also that Nebraska's in on. I think with all this, Sam Leavitt, the other quarterback that Nebraska was somewhat targeting, has now committed to Arizona State.
Yes.
So that's a big win for Kenny Dillingham in that Pac-12 school. But we're starting to see some dominoes fall, right? Blake Shapen commits to Mississippi State. You have Sam Leavitt, who was a 4-year guy, or could have 4 years to play, I should say, now committed to Arizona State with Kenny Dillingham, the former Oregon offensive coordinator. Cam Ward's kind of out of realistic, or is not so much realistic. Will Howard, same kind of situation. They haven't been in the mix for DeQuan Finn. It feels
how
like
sad are you about that?
I'm fine, because if Kyle McCord's the guy, then I'm okay with it.
But you want DeQuan Finn.
Yeah, maybe.
It's okay.
Like,
you can be sad if DeQuan Finn's not here, because look, I agree with you. That would be very fun to have DeQuan Finn here, but I don't understand, and I've also seen what you've seen. I don't understand the negative talk about Kyle McCord. Is it just because he's transferring out of Ohio State and because he didn't have 4,000 yards and 30 touchdown passes at Ohio State? Like, if you look at his statistics, they're solid statistics. Just because he was at Ohio State,
we'd be jumping up for joy if he had somewhat similar statistics at Nebraska.
Exactly. Like, if just because he was at Ohio State doesn't mean that he should have similar statistics to, Michael Penix or Jaden Daniels, or he shouldn't. Just because he's at Ohio State, I understand that it's kind of like what people view Nebraska's quarterback situation as, where if you're going to have a good season as a quarterback for Ohio State or for Nebraska, you should probably be in, Heisman discussions. And that's how you understand that, they've had a good season and Nebraska is doing well, or Ohio State's doing well. But at the same time, I mean, he had the best wide receiver in college football. Their offensive line was not the same Ohio State that it has been. Their defense, not the same Ohio State that it normally is. So, working with what he had, again, he had 5 stars and 4 stars all across, but it wasn't the same kind of Ohio State. And like you said, he's not CJ Stroud. He's not Justin Fields. He's not those guys who are deadly accurate and can also, beat you with their legs. He's not much of a runner, but he is very accurate and a very good passer. But that one aspect of the game kind of took things out for Ohio State, and that's why maybe his stats weren't the same as the two quarterbacks who preceded him. But again, still a very solid season from Kyle McCord.
It's almost like the kind of response that I have is, why does Kyle McCord transfer? Like, that's why I think, personally, this is my own thought, that there's something deeper going on at Ohio State. There's been, I think, 14 or let me get the official number here. 14 departures from Ohio State, and those vary from quarterbacks, couple running backs, Julian Fleming, obviously, who's one that Husker fans kind of keep their eyes on, a couple defensive backs, 4 defensive backs to be specific. Like, I look at that as, all right, those are numbers. The 14 departures are numbers similar to places that are going through coaching changes, right? New head coach comes in and 20 guys move on and leave the portal. I get that there isn't like the security of having the starting job at Ohio State. I'm not sure if there was a ton of security in Kyle McCord having the starting job this year at Ohio State either. Now going forward, right, they're bringing in that Aaron Nolan to recruit. They have Devin Brown, who wears number 33 as a quarterback. They have Lincoln Kienholz, who was from a high school in South Dakota, a high 4-star guy coming out of high school that is now on the roster as well. And they're pursuing some through the transfer portal, some of the big ones, just kind of feeling it out, testing the waters to see if they can land a guy like a Will Howard or not Will Howard, but a Cam Ward or such. So
they're looking for a more athletic quarterback.
Yeah, Kyle McCord doesn't necessarily run, so that provides an interesting piece to it.
Which
for Nebraska fans,
like that's the only thing that is probably well, not the only thing. There's a lot of other things probably, but to me, that's one of the main reasons where Kyle McCord, maybe they're telling him like, look, we just want a more athletic quarterback. We've been able to do all of these great things with quarterbacks who can run and pass, whereas you're just a passer. We understand that your statistics and what you've done for us, we really appreciate it, but we want somebody who can do both. And as a quarterback, you know your limitations, and it's not like he's going to go out there and run for 1,000 yards in a season. So he's like, okay, well, I'm going to go somewhere where they're going to utilize my strengths and not try to have me do something that I can't do, or be somewhere where I'm not really going to get a chance because I can't do what they want. It's totally understandable, and it's strange just to see the negative talk on Kyle McCord just because he's transferring from Ohio State, and maybe Nebraska might be one of his landing spots.
Yeah, once again, it's weird that he would, like I said, more transfer out rather than, it's not a case of why would you come here? It's more of a why would you leave there?
Well, you would understand if they're just saying, hey, like, we appreciate it, but you're not
competitive piece in you. Where
but
it's
if
like,
they're saying like, hey, we want somebody who can run and pass, and you're not a runner.
That's not official. I don't know.
It's not official, but I'm just saying if that is the thing.
It's a hypothetical situation. I don't know. But so once again, so Kyle McCord obviously on his way to Nebraska, if he's not already here, getting ready to get that visit started. Julian Fleming, obviously another guy that Nebraska has their eye on, that On3 reported that he'll get a visit to Nebraska in this week at some point. But back to the case, I mean, the dominoes are starting to kind of fall with other quarterbacks in places. Sam Levitt, who was the other kind of Husker target that they had talked to, and I know Sip said it earlier this morning on the show, that they hadn't necessarily called back as of last week. And Bill said, listen, during this time, if you're not getting not getting calls for about 3 days or so, and they're not returning calls, things have kind of moved on and they're on to somebody else. So I think that's something to watch. Like I said, there's probably some names that, and actually I would assume that there's probably some names out there in terms of maybe high school guys that they're trying to flip at whatever position. I think there's probably some names that they're trying to get and just kind of, once again, test the waters and see if they can catch something over the next couple of days and couple of weeks before early signing day. Not this Wednesday, but next Wednesday, December 20th, is the first period of the opening signing day. So definitely going to be a busy and stressful couple of days, I would assume. But this is a big part now because Nebraska is going to get basically the bulk of their class, if not the entire thing, signed by that early signing day. So going forward here, then they'll probably leave open a couple spots like staffs usually do after January and after the new year to see if there's any late entries into the portal. To this point, Nebraska only 4 scholarship portal entries, and those are obviously smaller numbers in the Big Ten Conference. So something that I guess Nebraska can hang their hat on. Is that going to be the case every year? Probably not. But as Nebraska continues to get improvement and development in their roster, maybe a couple of the guys do believe in Matt Rule's vision, and more maybe than usual, because they saw a 5-7 team this year who had an opportunity to win 4 games at the end of the year.
Yeah. And it's the smaller entries into the portal does give you, some confidence moving forward. But at the same, just kind of looking at the other side of the coin, and I don't know the numbers for sure, but if Nebraska is finding themselves in a situation like they were at last year where they're over on scholarships, again, you appreciate the guys who want to be around and want to be here and see the vision that Matt Rule has and go forward with it for Nebraska. But at a certain point, you're going to have to make room for some of the guys that you want to bring in, whether that be all of the freshmen that you're bringing in or some more people out of the transfer portal. So although it is encouraging to see, only 4 guys enter, you're probably going to have more going in as the year goes, as the new year starts.
As we say that, Nebraska has now had their 5th entry into the transfer portal.
There we go.
And it's in the form of quarterback Jeff Sims. Jeff Sims is officially in the transfer portal.
There it is.
That's reported by On3, as well as our guy, Steve Mark of Inside Nebraska, have reported that. So Jeff Sims officially in the transfer portal. I know there was a lot of reports like over the weekend about Miami and other things going on. All those are obviously fake, because at that point, Jeff Sims was not in the portal. So now, though, Jeff Sims officially in the transfer portal. A guy, obviously, that struggled just a little bit this year, completed just 59% of his throws. He only threw 47 passes all season long for 282 yards and 1 passing touchdown. He threw 6 interceptions in the 3 games that he attempted to pass. As that dual threat guy, he rushed for 189 yards and 1 touchdown as well.
That long run at Colorado.
Yeah, you would understand Matt Rule and company, not necessarily the season that they probably envisioned Jeff Sims having. But once again, off the field, somebody that Nebraska fans really gravitated towards, because we did hear time and time again about how good of a teammate he was. You saw it on the sidelines whether Heinrich Harburg was the quarterback or towards the tail end of the season when Chubba Purdy was in there under center, a guy that celebrated with them from the sideline as well. And so and once again, just a struggle bus of a season for Jeff Sims, who's now officially in the portal.
I mean, it sucks, and it obviously not the season that he wanted, or the season that Matt Rule and company wanted from Jeff Sims when they brought him out of the portal last offseason. But, he is a guy, like you mentioned, that all the players gravitated towards, and was a really, I would say, a really well-liked guy on the team. I mean, he was the one they took to Big Ten Media Days. He got a single-digit number. He started the season as the starting quarterback, and like you said, on the sidelines, even after he lost his job, and you hear all of the negativity from the fans about if he goes back in the game, then they've given up, and all of these crazy things that people are saying. He's still over there on the sideline with a smile on his face, congratulating Heinrich Harburg and Chubba Purdy, who are guys that took his spot. And, he's the older statesman in the room, and he's the guy that transferred in to be that guy. And even with all of that, he's still out there being an amazing teammate. So, you wish Jeff Sims the best, and that he finds a spot that utilizes his skill set to the umpteenth degree.
Let's go ahead and take a break. When we come back, 402-464-5685. It's time to talk a little Husker volleyball. They made a little bit of news today, and in a big way. This was something I was surprised to see it. I'll say it. I'm surprised to see it, and it kind of clears the path of, all right, what's going to happen in the future of Nebraska volleyball, right? We'll talk about that and more as we'll break down not only the Sweet 16, but also the Elite Eight, and then what we can look forward to from the Final Four in Tampa that DP and Rico are going to be in attendance for in the good old Tampa Bay. Make your way over to Tropicana Field, see the Rays.
I thought about it. We're leaving Wednesday. So the Bucks are out. They're at an away game. I don't know when they leave.
Okay.
I was going to see if I could hit up our good old friend Trey Palmer, see what he was up to.
Oh, there you go. Perfect. There you go. He met up with Casey Thompson yesterday.
He did.
So there it is. All right, let's take a break. We talk Husker volleyball and kind of talk about the breaking news as Nebraska is going to be holding on to a couple assistant coaches for a little bit longer. We'll break all that down coming up next on the Happy Hour.
Follow Nick and Enrique on Twitter at Nick_Sainert and at Radio Rico AC. More of Happy Hour is next on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
If your home heating system is making strange noises or just doesn't work like it should, call your friends at Bryant Air Conditioning and Heating. Sign up for Bryant's exclusive ESP service protection plan. You'll get twice annual complete and thorough service on all brands, and you'll never pay overtime charges on evenings, weekends, or holidays. Schedule your heating check today and ask about Bryant's ESP plan to save money. Call 467-1111 or go to BryantLincoln.com. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. We do whatever it takes.
Whether you're booking a trip to Lincoln for a football game or a volleyball weekend, the Scarlet Hotel at Innovation Campus is the place for you. The Scarlet Hotel is special on many levels, from the delicious Well and Good restaurant on the main floor to the coolest rooftop patio bar in Lincoln, the Barred Owl, on the top floor of the hotel with great views of the city and one of the coolest drink menus. Book your stay or book a staycation today at scarlethotelnebraska.com.
This is Brian at Midwest Bank, and we've been proudly serving clients in the Lincoln community since 2008, and we're excited to open a second location in January 2024 at 70th and Pioneers Boulevard. Our new branch will provide all the convenient services you're looking for in a bank, along with the friendly staff we're known for. Whether you're starting a business or expanding your business, our team is here for you. Your community, your bank, Midwest Bank. Find out more at midwestbank.com, member FDIC.
Rosie Sports Bar and Grill, open for lunch and dinner at 10th and P or at 1501 Center Park Road.
Experience the Landmark difference with the next level of dealer support. Landmark, your local John Deere dealer, continually works to have parts on hand the first time you walk in the door. Our internal route system means we can get the parts to you typically same or next day to keep you up and running. At Landmark, we understand time is money. Get more uptime with our after-hours parts and service support on the phone or in the field. Our sales, precision ag, parts, and service teams are ready to serve you this planning season. Stop by your local Landmark today to experience the Landmark difference.
Ever wish you had another light switch on the other side of the room on a dark night? How much better would you sleep at night if you had a ceiling fan in your room? The High Electric Service Department is here to make your electrical what-ifs a reality. Whether you're looking to replace some outdated light fixtures or brighten up your counters with under-cabinet lighting, High Electric can handle all types of residential electrical installations and services. Give Erica a call at 402-466-6606 or visit high-electric.com to get started.
This is former Husker and NFL linebacker Jay Foreman. For years, I've suffered from degenerative problems in both of my ankles, but thanks to a thorough and thought-out plan provided by Advanced Medical Imaging, I was able to get my life back with the least amount of pain as possible. While working through multiple options, the team of physicians at Advanced Medical Imaging were there to answer any questions I had. If you're experiencing any pain at all and want to get your life back, go to amimaging.com or give them a call at 402-484-6677. Advanced Medical Imaging, located at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard.
At Jimmy John's, we don't make sandwiches. We make the sandwich of sandwiches. We use fresh veggies because we don't hate salads. We just feel bad for them. We make our sandwiches exactly how you want because you're the one who's eating it. And we bake bread all day, every day because stale bread isn't bread. It's croutons. Sandwich history is written by the victors. Good thing we have legible handwriting. Jimmy John's, the sandwich of sandwiches. Order pickup or delivery on the app.
Get rid of pesky critters once and for all with Bats to Rats. Their expert team is here to help you reclaim your home. No more sleepless nights caused by crawling critters or flapping wings. Bats to Rats ensures a safe environment for every family member. Check the website at batstoRats.com for amazing offers, and if you mention this ad, you'll receive $10 off your initial inspection cost. Don't allow uninvited guests to take over your home. Trust Bats to Rats for a peaceful and rodent-free living space. The Southern Pecan Cake from Beatrice Bakery. They don't just let you call anything Southern, especially when it's baked right here in Nebraska. There are standards you have to meet, like a rich, decadent, moist caramel cake? Check. Bursting with too many large pecans to count? Check. Big enough to share with the whole group? Check. but delicious enough that you won't want to share? A big check on that one. The Southern Pecan Cake, the newest cake to the Beatrice Bakery lineup. Try it for yourself at Beatrice Bakery. Online at BeatriceBakery.com. Welcome to our world of yum.
We're bringing heaven to Lincoln with a waffle unlike anything you've ever experienced. Heavenly Waffles combines an incredibly fluffy recipe packed with protein and a medley of angelic toppings. To elevate the experience beyond your typical waffle and syrup, take the opportunity to try out this divine creation and pair it with a coffee from the mill as we celebrate Heavenly Waffles Wednesday from 8 to 11 a.m. at the 93.7 The Ticket Studio.
Stop by the 93.7 The Ticket Studios at 1040 O Street this Wednesday, December 13th, to try some Heavenly Waffles. Parking available on 11th Street and in nearby garages.
Getting experience to jumpstart a meaningful career can be difficult, and education can cost a fortune. Luckily, AmeriCorps can be the solution. With AmeriCorps, you'll earn a stipend and education award while helping people. Plus, you'll gain professional skills and make connections to help you build your career. If you're ready to start a career you can be proud of, visit serve.nebraska.gov/service to find a program for you. Paid for by Serve Nebraska, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Hi, this is Pastor Tom. Did you know there's a place kids can seek out help when they're away from home and something goes wrong? They find themselves in a difficult spot or even a dangerous situation. Maybe another child is bullying them or a stranger is following them. Perhaps on a date and things just go bad. In Lincoln, here's where they can find help. It's called Safe Place. Safe Place is a national program for children taking place in thousands of cities across the United States. The People City Mission is sponsoring this program in our community and has set up a number of businesses, fire stations, schools, and nonprofits around the city to become safe locations where kids can seek out help. They just need to look for the big yellow sign that says Safe Place on it. Then go inside and ask for help. We will be quickly connected to them and ensure they make it back home or to whatever resources are needed. If you'd like to find out more about Safe Place and ways in which you can get involved, just go to pcmlincoln.org. Remember, when we all do a little, we change a lot.
How was your drive to school?
Let me tell you, I had to get my iced coffee first. I just can't seem to put it down. My favorite rapper just announced a tour. My phone was buzzing like crazy. I'm so excited. I had to text all my friends right then to talk about it. Then someone started calling me and...
Let's try that again.
I turned my phone off right away. I never drive distracted.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Your link forecast for today, expecting lots of sunshine. It'll be mild as well. We'll see a high of around 50. Tonight, increasing cloud cover with the low near 25. And tomorrow, mainly cloudy skies with a few flurries are possible, especially in the afternoon. We'll see a high of around 38. I'm meteorologist Kyle Cluckett from 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
You're listening to the Happy Hour with Nick Sainert and Enrique Alvarez Clary.
This isn't the real Caesar's Palace, is it?
What do you mean?
Did Caesar live here?
No.
I didn't think so.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back into the Happy Hour 93.7 The Ticket, theticketfm.com. Nick and Rico back with you per usual. 402-464-5685, the Honda of Lincoln hotline, and the Starter Heyman text line are both open for you guys the entire show today. Excuse me. Let's talk Husker volleyball here in the final couple of minutes before we got to take another timeout and get to the crossover. A little bit of news today for Husker volleyball, and that is that assistant coaches Kelly Hunter and Jalen Reyes have both signed and accepted contract extensions to stay on Nebraska volleyball staff. Now, this is big. Obviously, Kelly Hunter, this is the first job that she had immediately after she was a player for Nebraska a couple of years ago. But Jalen Reyes is the big one. is a huge one, because
that is a massive one to keep around.
That's a guy that I'm surprised, frankly, personally, that he hasn't moved on to accept another job. I'm sure there's been opportunities because of what he's done at Nebraska. He's a big part of the recruiting piece. He's the lead recruiter on everybody.
He's a big part of the defense,
right? Yeah, the
big part of
defense. And obviously Nebraska has the best defense in the country this season. So not only to keep Jalen Reyes for this amount of time already, right? Because he's been here for quite a while, but then also to continue to retain him shows two things. Number one, he wants to be here. Number two, there's the sights are set on something bigger while at Nebraska.
Because they're, with the amount of jobs that have been opening up over the years, and some of them have been really big jobs that I'm sure Jalen, again, with what he's been doing here at Nebraska, has been offered, and he's decided to stay here and sign an extension this year in the middle of, there's only 4 teams left that are playing. So universities are making changes. They're cutting coaches, and they're bringing in new coaches. And for him to sign an extension at this time, just again shows that he wants to be here for the long term, whether that means whatever in the future. He's here and he's here to stay. And like you said, a big part of the recruiting, a big part of the defensive side of the net. So again, to keep him around is a massive keep for Nebraska volleyball.
So how about this? I mean, once again, Jalen Reyes has been here since 2018. He was hired in March of 2018. He coaches the Husker Liberos in defense while helping coordinate game plans, scouting reports, and assisting other positions. He is also the head Huskers recruiting coordinator. So once again, wears a lot of hats. Does Jalen Reyes.
It's a lot of hats.
He played at BYU.
Also extremely energetic.
Yeah, but he's the guy, obviously, that you see stand up. Now, you'll remember he used to be basically in Kelly Hunter's position. But now, once Tyler Hildebrand left and moved on to Long Beach State, they elevated Jalen Reyes to basically head assistant coach, if you will.
He's the
associate head coach,
the associate head coach title after Hildebrand left.
So that's basically his role now. We know as Husker volleyball fans the type of recruiting classes that Nebraska has been able to bring in, and we know how strong Nebraska's defense has been, right? So it's to compare it to maybe something like football. It's basically that you have constructed the number 1 or a top 5 or 10 defense or offense as a coordinator for the last 5 years, and just choosing to stay as a coordinator.
It's like Iowa's defensive coordinator.
Yeah, like it truly feels that there's something bigger in play. Now we can
speculate all we want,
speculate and assume or question or be curious, and that's a good thing. But for right now, let's talk about what Nebraska's current situation is. Right, you have an outside hitter. You have Lindsey Krause, who's banged up a little bit. Not sure when she is going to come back, if she's going to be available for the Final Four this week.
I have a sneaky suspicion that she'll be available. She has been slowly improving, and John Cook has just said, she practiced this last week, but they're not going to play her until she can go full bore in practice. But at least getting on the court and practicing, she goes through the warm-ups in the last 2 matches in the regional. But then, once the match starts, she's on the sideline with a jacket on, but she's still, again, she's dressed, and she could go in the game, at the drop of a hat if needed, but still getting over that high ankle sprain. But, there's a couple of times, some celebrations on the sideline. You're watching her celebrate, and I'm like, hey, that ankle looks pretty good.
Yeah. So once again, you have that kind of situation. Allie Bainhorst is filled in nicely on the outside in the absence of Lindsey Krause, where she's had kind of a roller coaster of a year in terms of just playing time, right? It was full Lindsey Krause's job at the start. Then she gets banged up. Allie comes in, fills the void nicely. Then we see Lindsey Krause come back. She then gets hurt for whatever reason. I can't keep them all straight.
The car crash was
the car crash first,
and then during practice the high ankle sprain.
Yeah, so there was multiple instances where once again Allie Bainhorst has just had to step up, and she's done so really, really nicely. And so give credit to Allie Bainhorst and obviously the rest of the Huskers there for filling the void of Lindsey Krause on the outside. And then also you have some really talented players coming in the wings. Merritt Beeson is as impactful of a transfer as probably anybody in the country right now. It just continues to gather and sweep up awards, whether it's the Big Ten awards, whether it's Player of the Week, whether it's region or what is it called?
Regional MVP.
Yeah, region MVP for the Nebraska region. Whatever the case may be, Merritt Beeson is the one that has kind of turned to be one of the faces of this team, of this program.
I mean,
she's done so in her first year.
She stepped right in and was named a captain. And John Cook was talking about in the post-game presser how she's just that calming force for Nebraska where, she can bring the energy, but at the same time, if somebody's, getting a little too energized, she's like, hey, we got this.
Yeah.
Let's bring it back to earth real quick. Or somebody's having, a down, couple of rallies or a down couple of moments. She's right there to step in. And he said she knows exactly what to say. And she's like a coach on the court. So just to have her transfer in and step in and work so seamlessly with the rest of the team right away has been a godsend for Nebraska volleyball, especially with the fact that, she's her and Lexi being the captains working with a team that's playing so many freshmen who, again, are young in terms of age and schooling, but are elder statesmen in the world of volleyball. If you look at the amount of years that they've played volleyball and the amount of matches that they've played.
Yeah, so it's an exciting time. Going forward here, Rico.
Yes.
Recap Arkansas, right? Because Nebraska didn't come out as maybe smooth, as strong as probably Husker fans wanted to see. They still won the first set. There was a point they were down 21-15.
They were down 21-16 at one point. Yeah, 21-16 at one point, and it looked like, okay, they're going to drop this first set, but they'll bounce back in the second set, whatever. Well, they get down 21-16, and then they just start rattling off points, and Arkansas will get a point here, a point there, but Nebraska just going on multiple different 3-4 point runs just to come back in that first set. And John Cook mentioned that this team, and he said, no disrespect to anybody else that they've played, this is probably one of the best teams that they've played all season, especially in terms of their back row defense. They were everywhere. They had, the numbers, I'm not going to remember exactly, but they had like 180 swings to Nebraska's like 140.
Yeah.
And that's because Nebraska kept blocking their attacks, but they were covering so well that they'd block 3 or 4 times in a single rally. Arkansas would cover it and come back and possibly even score a point during that rally. So the way that Arkansas was able to defend and keep the ball from hitting the ground on their side of the net was very admirable, but Nebraska just sticking with it and coming back again, down 21-16 in the first set and able to come back in that one was remarkable. But then, the second set, they handled them pretty well. In the third set, they dropped the third set coming out of the break. And in that one, if I remember correctly, there was a point where I tweeted it out where Arkansas had 5 kills and they were up by like 3 points, and it was like 22-20 or 22-19. And they only had 5 kills in the set.
Yeah.
It was just a very error-filled set from both sides. Arkansas is able to pull it out, and then Nebraska is able to end it in 4 sets. But that game was everything you would want out of a volleyball match that doesn't go 5 sets. Both teams diving all over, amazing defensive plays. You have Jillian Gillen on the Arkansas side, a 5'7" outside hitter, just making plays. And if you want to teach your outsides how to tool a block, just put on film of her.
So Jillian Gillen, as you mentioned, 14 kills on 57 swings.
Yeah, everywhere.
She swung 57 times. The next closest was 51 by Taylor Head. But then you had a couple you look at Nebraska though, and this is that balance that we talk about from top to bottom.
And that's the thing why they probably don't win like National Player of the Year awards or anything like that, because of
they don't have the volume.
Yeah, because of what you're about to say.
So Merritt Beeson swung 46 times, 11 fewer than the Arkansas leader in Jillian Gillen. Now, a big part of it was Becca Alec on the block. Becca Alec on the block on Saturday was impressive. I think she had 12 blocks.
12 blocks, a new career high for her. And I think it's a new postseason high, or ties a postseason high in Nebraska history.
So,
or at least since 2001, if I remember the year.
Becca's really excelled on the block the last 3 games, especially. And against Georgia Tech, I think she had 4 or 5. Andy Jackson had 5 blocks against Georgia Tech in the Sweet 16. She's stepped up big just this season as a whole. Andy Jackson is incredible to watch as a true freshman. And then obviously the usual names, right? Merritt Beeson is incredible. Harper Murray is really, really special. You have a lot of just players from top to bottom. It's so balanced, and Nebraska's so deadly at so many spots on the floor that there's just it's tough to stop them. It's almost impossible to stop them. And the other team that looks unstoppable in the country, Wisconsin, was able to defeat Oregon on Saturday as well.
Yeah, they were able to take Oregon down in 4 sets, and I mean, not much else needs to be said there. They I think it's 25-22 in the first 2 sets.
They really kept them within large. I mean, and this is against like Wisconsin. And we know this as Husker fans watching matches or just watching and keeping tabs on Wisconsin, right? When Wisconsin's up by 4 or 5, man, it just feels like it's an insurmountable lead.
It feels like they're up 20-10.
And you somewhat get that feeling from Nebraska, but also just from Wisconsin. It's like, dang, similar situation. There's so many people on the floor that can hurt you. Obviously, Sarah Franklin is one of them. The transfer
Temi Thomas-Ilara.
Yes, I always want to butcher the name, but I never mean to.
Yeah, the Northwestern transfer.
Obviously, Orgeol is in the back as the libero nowadays.
But she can get if they needed her, if they wanted to switch her from libero to outside, they could.
So that's the case. Like, it just felt like an insurmountable lead for Oregon, even when it was like 24-20. It just felt like, or 16-12. Like, it just feels like such an insurmountable lead and such a large hill that they have to climb over.
Yeah, like I said, they won the first 2 sets 25-22, but that's just them spotting them a couple of points or whatever, because Wisconsin was in pretty much in control the entire time. So they'll be matching up with a red hot Texas squad who took down Stanford at the Stanford Regional, the only non-1 seed to make the Final Four.
I got to watch Keona Leakana. Play for Texas, obviously former
Serving
Husker
specialist.
there. Yeah, former Husker there, playing for Texas. She's back in the Final Four. Her brother plays football for the Longhorns. Just won a Big 12 championship. So yeah, Nebraska will face Pittsburgh at 6 p.m. on ESPN on Thursday. They were able to defeat Danny Busboom Kelly and the Louisville Cardinals on Saturday.
And a reverse sweep. Louisville goes up 2-0, goes into the break, and Pittsburgh rattles off 3 straight wins. So, but Pittsburgh, I was looking up statistics today just to kind of compare and contrast. Pittsburgh has the 3rd best offense and the 4th or 5th best defense in the country in terms of hitting percentage. Nebraska, the 18th best offense and the best defense. So this matchup, Nebraska and Pittsburgh, is going to be electric. Nebraska 2-0. I think they've only faced Pittsburgh twice. I'll have to make sure that I get that correct. But 2-0 against Pittsburgh. The last time they faced each other was in the Final Four back in 2021. Nebraska wins in 4 sets. So Nebraska and Pittsburgh, again, like you just said, going to be that first matchup, or going to be that matchup down in Tampa.
So how about this? Just since we are in the volleyball discussion, Kentucky lost a major name today. Reagan Rutherford has entered the portal. She won the championship with the Wildcats back in 2020. She is a 4-time SEC champion as well. This season, Rutherford averaged 3.5 kills per set with 1.5 digs and 0.9 blocks per set. She was voted to the All-SEC All-SEC team for the 3rd time in her career. It was named All-Region and an All-American by the Volleyball Coaches Association for the first time in her career. So how about this? You want to talk about magnitude of what this means?
Ooh, buddy.
This is Merritt Beeson-like, as the tweet has said. But also, Kentucky acknowledged that she had entered the portal. Kentucky released a statement.
That's crazy.
Thanking Reagan Rutherford for her 4 years and talking about how she's entering the portal.
That's wild. I've never seen that.
I have never seen a university. That'd be like Nebraska if, I don't want to put a name out there. We'll say Michaela Fecky, since she's graduated.
Yeah.
Michaela Fecky entered the portal after her final year. She just comes off of a national championship. And she comes in Nebraska, not Michaela Fecky, but Nebraska comes out and says, we want to thank Michaela Fecky for her 4 years as a Husker. She's choosing to enter the portal. this is everything she's done.
Thank you so much
That's
for everything you've done
incredible.
for us.
That's incredible. So,
Well,
hey, hat tip to Kentucky, though.
Yeah, she was on that national championship team, and that national championship team back in, I think it was 2020, they were the first SEC team to win a national championship in volleyball.
Yeah.
Which is crazy to think about. If you think of all of the great SEC teams that have come out that in volleyball, Kentucky back in 2020, the first SEC team to win a national title.
All right, let's take a break. When we come back, we'll be joined by Austin Orman for the crossover. I don't know what direction we want to go with Austin, whether it's transfer portal quarterback, or maybe we dive into a little hoops as Nebraska basketball got back on the right track yesterday. They improved to 8-2 before they get ready to play a Kansas State team down in Manhattan, Kansas. So we'll maybe talk a little bit both of those, but also get you ready for On the Block with Strick and Austin coming up next. You're listening to the Happy Hour, sponsored by Empire Fence and Netting, right here on 93.7 The Ticket.
Download our app by searching 93.7 The Ticket in your app store to stay in touch and listen all day long wherever you are. More of the Happy Hour is next on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Is your backyard ready for fun with friends and family this fall? GE Landscape Supply has pavers and boulders, which are a great accent for any landscaping project. And you can find them at 6701 Cornhusker Highway. GE Landscape Supply sells to homeowners and contractors with a vast selection of landscaping and construction materials. And don't forget, they deliver anywhere, nearby or far away. Stop by at 6701 Cornhusker Highway from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday to Friday. Go to gelandscapesupply.com for more info or call 402-467-1627.
Hi, it's Charlie Stone, and here with me is Andy Goodyear, General Manager of Honda of Lincoln. Andy, I know the new Honda sales are going really good right now at Honda of Lincoln, and with that, a lot of fresh trade-ins are coming in. Can you tell our listeners about your pre-owned selection?
I'm happy to, Charlie. Like you said, with new Honda sales going very good, we have a lot of fresh trade-ins coming in daily, and not just Hondas. We have just about every maker model you can imagine, with over 100 pre-owned and certified pre-owned to choose from, and prices starting at just $5,900.
Wow, what about financing?
We have financing as low as 3.29% APR on certified Accords and CRV.
Thanks again, Andy. People love the selection and great service at Honda of Lincoln. Maybe it's time you come experience the Honda of Lincoln way of doing business. 27th and Yankee Hill Road or online at hondaoflincoln.com.
Golfing in 72 degrees in perfect conditions in Nebraska doesn't seem possible in December, but it is. Double Eagle Golf is your escape from the bone-chilling cold outside and a reason to keep your clubs out year-round. Book your holiday parties at Double Eagle Golf and make plans to join them for a New Year's Eve party. Gift cards make a great stocking stuffer for Christmas, and don't forget to look ahead to 2024 as spring leagues begin in February. That's all at Double Eagle Golf, inside the Kinetic Sports Complex on West O Street, online at doubleeagle.golf.
At Jimmy John's, we don't make sandwiches. We make the sandwich of sandwiches. We use fresh veggies because we don't hate salads. We just feel bad for them. We make our sandwiches exactly how you want because you're the one who's eating it. And we bake bread all day, every day because stale bread isn't bread. It's croutons. Sandwich history is written by the victors. Good thing we have legible handwriting. Jimmy John's, the sandwich of sandwiches. Order pickup or delivery on the app.
Rico here with HIS Auto Care at 70th and Van Dorn, letting you know HIS is a great place to bring your vehicle for service. With superior service, bumper to bumper, we'll treat your vehicle like it's your mother's. It doesn't get any better than that. So call 402-488-8934 and HIS Auto will make you glad you did. 5% off, mention this ad, and for sure your mother will be proud you called. 402-488-8934, HIS Auto Care, 70th and Van Dorn. God bless you.
This is former Husker and NFL linebacker Jay Foreman. For years, I've suffered from degenerative problems in both of my ankles, but thanks to a thorough and thought-out plan provided by Advanced Medical Imaging, I was able to get my life back with the least amount of pain as possible. While working through multiple options, the team of physicians at Advanced Medical Imaging were there to answer any questions I had. If you're experiencing any pain at all and want to get your life back, go to amimaging.com or give them a call at 402-484-6677. Advanced Medical Imaging, located at 76 7601 Pioneers Boulevard.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Infrastructure, a veteran-owned local company proudly serving Lincoln, Lancaster County, and the surrounding areas. Bauer provides quality work at an affordable price, and they're growing rapidly. If you want to experience a career with a fast-paced, family-friendly environment, visit BauerInfrastructure.com. They have top-of-the-line benefits, year-round work, even through the winter. Bauer, usher in the new era of infrastructure to an area near you. And as always, go Big Red!
Experience the Landmark difference with the next level of dealer support. Landmark, your local John Deere dealer, continually works to have parts on hand the first time you walk in the door. Our internal route system means we can get the parts to you typically same or next day to keep you up and running. At Landmark, we understand time is money. Get more uptime with our after-hours parts and service support on the phone or in the field. Our sales, precision ag, parts, and service teams are ready to serve you this planning season. Stop by your local Landmark today to experience the Landmark difference.
Hey, Santa, we're getting a lot of requests for Nebraska Lottery Holiday Classic scratch tickets this year.
Makes sense. Until January 3rd, 2024, players can enter non-winning tickets online for a chance to win 1, 5, 10, or 20,000 bucks.
Yeah, but I built like 1 million wooden trains.
Why do you keep making those?
They're a classic holiday gift.
Oh, trust me, Jingles, there's nothing more classic than cash.
Top prize odds vary by game.
Gary with Gary Michaels Clothiers Lincoln. I'm here to tell you about our custom shirt program. When you come into the store, we measure your chest, mid-waist, and sleeve length. Enter the measurements in an app, and we create your data fit size. You then try on one of our 99 data fit shirts for the proper fit. After that, pick out the fabric, collar, cuff, placket, and in roughly 2 weeks, your shirts are delivered at the same cost of buying off the rack. And by the way, the neck fits too. Gary Michaels Custom Shirts at 56th and Pine Lake Road, Lincoln.
If you're in Seward or Milford, listen up. Select Plumbing is now servicing your area with no trip charges from Lincoln. Select Plumbing works on a variety of issues for your home and business, including general plumbing, water heaters, faucet and fixture repair, underground sewer and water repairs, backflow testing, and more. Keep your property free from leaks and other issues. Call today for a free estimate, 402-560-6197. It's not just Lincoln, Waverly, and the surrounding area anymore. It's also Seward and Milford with no trip charges. Contact Select Plumbing to inquire at 402-560-6197.
If you're not going to Memorial Stadium for a home game and don't have any travel plans for away games, there's a great place in Omaha to catch the action, the Inner Rail Food Hall. There's plenty of space. The Backstretch Bar has amazing game specials on game days. $15 Blue Moon and Bud Light pitchers, $6 margaritas, and $6 Moscow Mules. And if you're hungry, take in some of their great options from their game day pizza specials. Do football game day right in the Inner Rail Food Hall in Exarban Village in Omaha.
I'm Christy. I used to smoke cigarettes. I had smoker's cough and severe shortness of breath, and I knew I had to quit. Then I tried e-cigarettes, but I just ended up using both. I really didn't start to get better until I quit smoking completely. My tip to you is just cutting down on the number of cigarettes you smoke isn't enough.
Call the Nebraska Tobacco Quit Line, 1-800-QUIT-NOW, 1-800-784-8669. Paid for by Tobacco Free Nebraska. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. You're listening to the Happy Hour with Nick Sainert.
Even before you start. That was a preemptive shh.
And Enrique Alvarez Clary.
I already had someone created in my image. He's evil, he wants to take over the world, and he fits easily into most overhead storage bins.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Back in here, happy hour 93.7 The Ticket, theticketfm.com, 93.7 The Ticket, get you ready for On the Block with Strick and Austin. We welcome Austin Orman into the show. What's up?
Not much. How are we doing, boys?
Doing swell.
Haven't seen you in like an hour.
I know.
You guys look great.
I'm used to being your co-host.
I know.
That's what it is.
Yeah, and you dropped the bad news hammer on me first time I walk in here.
I'm so sad that we don't get to do a show until Wednesday. We thought it was Tuesday initially. But Rico is actually leaving on Wednesday, so we have to wait a full 24 hours more.
All right. I don't have to do the show tomorrow.
No, it's okay.
You guys can do the show tomorrow. It's fine.
No, it's
I don't have.
We're here
I don't
anyways.
have to.
You probably have preparation to do anyway.
You know what I'm
so
gonna
we
do?
can help you.
just
You
have
can
to
help
pack.
out.
You know what?
You just have to pack.
Since you guys want to be rude, you know what I'm gonna do?
We don't want to be rude. It's nothing against you. It's just we like to
Let
go
me guess.
together.
Let me guess. He's not going to be at work
I'm gonna make the log for the rest of the week,
and leave.
and I'm not gonna show up tomorrow.
There you go. That's crazy.
Enjoy Tampa.
It's just another day.
I will.
Just another day.
Do we feel? Are we happy for Rachel and the family that Rico's around one more day, or were they banking on Tuesday too?
I mean, that's the thing. I bet Rachel, the kids are probably. I'll say this: the kids are probably happy that Rico's around.
Mm-hmm.
But Rachel's probably like, "Gosh, I just want some space, man."
Yeah, from the kids.
Why don't you take the kids to Tampa?
Yeah, that's the question. Dad of the Year award right there.
That would have been an adventure.
But
they could go to Hillsborough Bay.
They could. That would be a terrible idea. You imagine I'm sitting in media row. I got a 2-year-old and a 4-year-old. Be like, I couldn't find a babysitter.
Yeah, there's a
They'd be
guy
like, do they
standing
have-
outside of the bus stop.
They're like,
I
do they-
said, "Hey, can you watch KJ and Ellie?" All right, guys.
Where's
I'll
their
be back in 2
credentials?
hours.
Where's their credentials? They don't have any.
They're 4 years old.
Oh, I thought I did. I read the fine print. It said that my kids were covered.
Yeah, exactly.
I thought it was
Exactly.
free 5 and under.
Say just like the airline.
Yeah.
So I'm flying down here with them, Frig.
Do
and
you
it's-
guys, do you guys just have standing room only?
Just
Or, how does that work?
throw my
At what
carry-on.
ages fly free?
None.
I think it was just
You just have to buy. I
2-year-olds.
think you just have to buy the seat, don't you? If you put them in a seat.
Well, is it 2 years old, or can they like sit on your lap for? Can I get my like 6-year-old when he's there to be just, hey, you're gonna sit on daddy's lap?
Maybe.
I'm curious what it is. I don't know.
Oh, okay. So this is just on Frontier.
Okay.
Everyone's favorite.
One of the Strick won't probably like me saying this. Strick flies Frontier.
He does.
He
It's okay.
flies Frontier.
It's
a
okay,
lot.
Stricky. We still love you.
It's not like a knock. Frontier's fine.
You have to be a discount den member, and then on certain flights, for every adult ticket, you get one kid under 15 that flies free.
Oh,
On Frontier?
On Frontier.
I might have.
Whoa!
If I ever start taking my kids anywhere, I might have to fly Frontier.
Somebody on the text line says 2 and under. Somebody else on the text line says free. It's free up to 3 years old. So not sure anybody knows.
No, nobody has any idea.
If you fly Southwest and have earned a companion pass, your child can accompany you as your companion for only taxes and fees.
Oh, okay, that's not bad. See, I always
Is
wonder.
that companion pass for dogs? Is that what they're trying to? They're just like,
Well,
hey,
let me see.
kids a companion. Why not?
I always wonder.
My emotional support 2-year-old.
Jeez. I always wonder. Somebody says Rico can fly free on Frontier. Yeah, that's why he's going down to Tampa, is because they were able to get him on for free.
Yeah, no, it is one person, not one entity.
Okay, my emotional support toddler.
Here's the thing of that, like you and I kind of know this. Like
toddlers are actually the opposite of that.
Well, see, here's the thing. Like, you know about toddlers better than
Yeah, it
me, but
makes
like
me
sometimes you come home and like seeing your kids just like warms your heart, and you're like, oh my gosh, I needed you after a long
Oh, it's
day.
the best.
And other times it's like you are the long day.
It's the best. Like the thing is, like during the work week, and you get home, or like you go to daycare, you go to pick up KJ, he sees you just daddy, and runs up to him like, this is the best. But like over weekends, I'm just like,
I need to get rid of you.
Get away from me. But I love
That's
them.
my PlayStation 5.
But I love them.
Your emotional support
That's-
PS5.
my
You don't have to pay for
emotional
tickets
support
for it.
I don't. I do wonder, like, is there just like an unwritten rule of when you don't have to pay? Like, if I'm going to a basketball game and I know it's not going to be sold out, like Nebraska Stony Brook, if I'm going to that game, do I need to buy a ticket for like my 4-year-old? I don't know the rules on that.
Yes.
Or do they just like let 4-year-olds in? Like if you took the family to a basketball game,
I have to buy a ticket for Ellie,
not KJ.
KJ gets in free to a lot of events. I don't think he gets in free to football. I don't think men's basketball either. But he
Lap
gets in
tickets are
free-
available for children under the age of 1 for $20.
Lap
This would have been
tickets?
for football.
Lap
Yeah,
tickets.
lap
Sit in your lap.
tickets.
You don't want a kid taking a seat.
Time out. Why do you have to pay for lap tickets?
I don't know. Great question.
It's not taking up another seat.
It is not.
You're the seat.
Convenience fee, I guess. I don't know.
It's inconvenient for everybody. Oh,
How
that's
many
stupid.
How many lap
I'm
tickets have they
sorry.
sold throughout the years?
That is-
and can that pay for the $480
I mean,
million?
Oh,
Come
here's
on.
this also. Everyone, regardless of age, must have a ticket.
There it is.
So there's the lap tickets.
Mhm.
I'm sorry. That's bonkers.
You're stealing money.
$20 to sit on your lap.
all persons, including any accompanying minors, must present a ticket to enter. And this is updated as of July 1st, 2023.
Like if you're
Bro,
taking
I'm gonna fight the university.
if you're taking like a 6-month baby, 6-month-old, I don't know if that's a thing.
What if I took my like 2-month-old?
Yeah, like do I gotta buy a ticket? If I gotta buy Beckett a lap ticket?
First off, don't do that.
Well,
first of all, you should get in free because his name is Herbert.
Well, yeah, he's part of the team, or part of the program.
He is the team.
Do you have university?
Do you have the noise
That's
canceling
what I'm
headphones?
saying. Like
for
we've
I do
seen
not
that.
yet.
You go take him somewhere. You got to do it.
Like we've seen that on like in basketball and stuff. You got to buy a lap ticket.
Yeah,
man.
I'm
not having kids.
That's it. The lap ticket.
Don't buy a ticket for your PS5 though.
I can go in there, play some PlayStation.
I haven't taken the kids to men's basketball games, but to women's games it was like $1 for Ellie. And same with softball. It's like $1 for both of them.
Okay. All right. Well,
Good.
but like Ellie's taking up a seat.
Yeah, she doesn't want to sit.
KJ prior to this year isn't.
No.
So, I mean,
the first game he ever went to was a women's basketball game, and he fell asleep. They both fell asleep.
Dang.
Rousing endorsement. Thanks,
Anyway,
guys.
it was their nap time, and they were tired, and it was very hard for them to fall asleep because the PA announcer was very loud and the music was very loud, and Ellie kept saying how she wanted to play basketball, and then she's just like, and I was like, "Are you okay?" And she goes, "I'm tired," and I go, "Okay."
So did she fall asleep?
She fell asleep.
Did she wait enough to like curl up on the seat and like actually keep it down?
She woke up because it was last year.
Yep,
So it was. So somebody hit a 3. It was like their first 3 of the year because it was early in the season, and the place went wild. And she wakes up and she goes, "It's too loud."
See, I'm gonna have to handle my emotions when like the kid doesn't like if, for example, at a sporting event and like they fall asleep.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, you're gonna wake up and you're gonna like it,
dude.
Like,
kids just when they're tired.
That's gonna be so disappointing for me because
No,
I'd be
dude,
like,
they just fall asleep whenever they want to.
I wanted you to be awake and watching this with me.
There have been so many kids that I've seen pictures of them asleep at football games.
Yeah, kids can sleep anywhere.
Like if they're tired, they're gonna sleep.
Kids, I mean, I can sleep.
I can sleep anywhere.
The thing that I'm gonna have to manage my expectations with is the leaving early. My wife is more than okay with leaving games early.
Ooh.
And for me, like I know what I sign up for and I buy a ticket.
Mm-hmm.
So you should know what you sign up for, even if it's a blowout. Like we pay for the ticket. I want to stay all 4 quarters, all 9 innings, whatever.
I want to see zeros.
Literally.
So here's what the way I convinced when my girlfriend and I went to a Royals game last year. It was Royals Twins. Met up with former 93.7 Ticket Nate Brennan.
Hey, the Royals came through for you on that one too.
They did come through for
Jordan
me.
Lyles, right?
They did. Jordan Lyles Day. But the way that I convinced my girlfriend to go and stay for all 9 innings was because there was a concert on the field after the game.
Right.
And I had to be like in the middle of the game, like in the 6th inning. And this was like, I told her going in, and Nate said the same thing to his girlfriend. Like, we were like, listen, here's the deal. Like, neither one of these teams are very good. So this could just be a really quick 3 up, 3 down every half inning. Maybe some team scores 2 runs 1 inning. Like, it's not going to take long. Well, they decided to have an offensive explosion that day, and it was like a 12-8 finish. And so it took a little bit longer than a normal baseball game would. And I remember like sitting there in like the 5th or 6th inning, and she was like, "Nick, I'm kind of like ready. Let's go get dinner. Like, let's go get food." And I was just like, and you know me and concession stand prices, guys.
You're not about it.
I wasn't about it. So I was like, but then we're going to miss the concert. All right, fine. I was like, good. This is good. Like, we're going to sit here and we're going to like it.
He said, all right, let's keep listening.
We're going to sit here. We're going to watch Jake Owen after this game. And Jake Owen was a really good person in life.
He said, let's keep mentioning this concert.
Let's
keep her around.
I was like, Nate, you got to get Carly to keep like wanting to talk about this concert and wanting to stay for it. But anyway, what's coming up on the block? We completely didn't get to talk about Nebraska basketball.
Oh, that's most of the first hour.
Stupid lap tickets.
Yeah, anyway. a lot of Husker basketball. Get Stricky's thoughts on that. He will be back tomorrow, by the way. Had some hiccups in getting back to the 402. So yeah, we'll talk some Husker basketball. We'll talk some Shohei. Get Strick's reaction to that since it broke over the weekend.
That's too much money.
NBA in-season tournament is over. Didn't really get Strick's thoughts on that. And then the Bills-Chiefs ending last night. It feels like the first time that public perception has been against Patrick Mahomes, with his complaining. So it's kind of impressive it's taken that long. And how does he hear that goodwill back?
There you go. Don't go anywhere on the block. Strick and Austin coming up next to that full show ahead. Then Old School will take it from them. We're out of here. Talk to you guys tomorrow on a Tuesday.
Adios.
Hey, Santa, we're getting a lot of requests for Nebraska Lottery Holiday Classic scratch tickets this year.
Makes sense. Until January 3rd, 2024, players can enter non-winning tickets online for a chance to win 1, 5, 10, or 20,000 bucks.
Yeah, but I built like 1 million wooden trains.
Why do you keep making those?
They're a classic holiday gift.
Oh, trust me, Jingles, there's nothing more classic than cash.
Top prize odds vary by game.
Get rid of pesky critters once and for all with Bats to Rats. Their expert team is here to help you reclaim your home. No more sleepless nights caused by crawling critters or flapping wings. Bats to Rats ensures a safe environment for every family member. Check the website at batstoRats.com for amazing offers, and if you mention this ad, you'll receive $10 off your initial inspection cost. Don't allow uninvited guests to take over your home. Trust Bats to Rats for a peaceful and rodent-free living space.
Are you working in or looking to get into the electrical construction industry? The electrical workers of Local Union 265 are now hiring licensed journeymen and apprentices and are offering great pay and benefits. Call Mike at 402-875-1034 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
If you're in Seward or Milford, listen up. Select Plumbing is now servicing your area with no trip charges from Lincoln. Select Plumbing works on a variety of issues for your home and business, including general plumbing, water heaters, faucet and fixture repair, underground sewer and water repairs, backflow testing, and more. Keep your property free from leaks and other issues. Call today for a free estimate, 402-560-6197. It's not just Lincoln, Waverly, and the surrounding area anymore. It's also Seward and Milford with no trip charges. Contact Select Plumbing to inquire at 402-560-6197.
Gary with Gary Michaels Clothiers Lincoln. I'm here to tell you about our custom shirt program. When you come into the store, we measure your chest, mid-waist, and sleeve length. Enter the measurements in an app, and we create your data fit size. You then try on one of our 99 data fit shirts for the proper fit. After that, pick out the fabric, collar, cuff, placket, and in roughly 2 weeks, your shirts are delivered at the same cost of buying off the rack. And by the way, the neck fits too. Gary Michaels Custom Shirts at 56th and Pine Lake Road, Lincoln.
Problem gambling is not just a financial issue. It's an emotional problem with financial consequences. If you or a loved one is struggling with addiction, contact Choices Treatment Center's 24-hour helpline at 402-476-2300. That's 402-476-2300.
Nutrition Authority invites you to try Anarchy, which is an exciting free workout for athletes and fitness enthusiasts who want the most out of their workout. Anarchy can only be found at Nutrition Authority. Remember, when you want results, the solution is simple. Nutrition Authority. Stop in, call, or check us out at mynutritionauthority.com.
I'm Christy. I used to smoke cigarettes. I had smoker's cough and severe shortness of breath, and I knew I had to quit. Then I tried e-cigarettes, but